Coming out to you live from the KMSU TV studios here in Hartnett Hall at Minot State University. We are back for episode 2 of MSU Inside Out. Lots of good news in the past week, and first show was pretty eventful too. Kaiden, how are you feeling now that the first show jitters are out of the way?
I'm feeling great. Should be a great show. We got a lot of news coming at you. We have an interview with Joshua Strong, a great photographer on campus. Also an interview with Thea Bonebreak from MSU Life. Cole, what else we got coming on?
Yeah, we got more sports with Troy. Got some local sports talk coming up with that, and Roxanne with weather information. And yeah, should definitely be a good one here.
Absolutely. Coming up next, we have the COVID-19 has affected a lot of individuals in the Minot State Athletics. With more on the story, we have Phillip Green standing by.
Coming to Minot State from Arizona, he brought along a trend he calls Monday Moods, in which he captures funny faces of student athletes across the campus. Joining me now is MSU Athletics assistant photographer Joshua Strong. Thank you for coming on, Josh. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. As I mentioned, you are a photographer here at Minot State. Can you give us little details on how coronavirus has changed what you've been doing as a photographer for Minot State Athletics?
Well, obviously, in short case, there's not been games happening, so it's kind of been up to us to kind of find creative ways in which we can capture different things, such as like when practices are on and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's just been kind of like a way to kind of break out of our shell a little bit and kind of find different compositions maybe in our photos at practice.
Outside of Minot State Athletics, what other types of photography have you been capturing?
Well, for the most part, high school sports have been still going on, so I've kind of followed Minot High football a little bit with Sean. I've also done a little bit of my own freelance work with Bishop Ryan's volleyball team. So I've been really super thankful that I've been able to get out to those games and that they're able to play safely.
You mentioned Sean Arball. You recently joined Sean Arball's photography team. Can you tell us a little bit about what that's been like and why you chose to join Sean?
It's been super helpful. It's been an amazing opportunity as far as to kind of get me under the wing of athletics and also help him with anything he needs outside of athletics. And he's always been a super great mentor to me. He's been in the game a lot longer than I have, especially in Minot. He's built so much reputation here and so many connections that it only felt right to fit in right underneath him.
Can you tell us a little bit about how your experience was doing Media Day this year with many of the fall teams?
It was awesome. Previously, in previous semesters, I've always been, the red and green sports photographer. So it's kind of just like I was only ever involved in game days, but it was really awesome to be a part of like a preseason photo shoot, and actually feel a part of the athletics team and be present for all that. It was really awesome.
You and Sean were really looking forward to capturing fall athletics this year, and unfortunately, without games, you haven't been able to. Are you planning on being here, part of athletics next year, to get that opportunity?
Yeah, so it actually just coincidentally works out that I need an extra semester to finish my degree, so I will be here in the fall, so it kind of makes up for the fall that we're kind of missing right now.
Thank you very much. Again, that is Joshua Strong, Minot State Athletics Assistant Photographer. I'm Phillip Green. You've been filled in.
Just like everything else going on in the world, student athletes and specifically their eligibility have been touched by the effects of COVID-19. Here to talk on the impact of student athlete eligibility is one of our own broadcasting majors and track and field athlete, Nina Arias. How's everything going for you lately in the classroom, and what's it like training with the team right now?
In the classroom, I'm assuming for most, it's just kind of learning to be, adaptive and, go from online to in person some days. But I think most of us have adjusted really well. Practicing with the team and our coaches has been great. I'm glad that we're back to normal.
Yeah, and you mentioned that. How is it getting back into the thick of things in practicing with the team even without a race?
It's, without anything to train for yet, it's been, a bit of a bummer, but we're doing our best. We still get to have the hope for an indoor season for track, so practicing with each other, at least we're moving forward towards that goal.
There's a lot of unanswered questions from student athletes in regards to having games, meets, whatever they specialize in. What do you think we might be able to see in the future of NSIC athletics from an athlete's perspective?
I feel like they're going to make a lot of changes, especially, the beginning of 2020, there I mean, it was completely unexpected. Nobody thought that this was going to happen, or at least have, such a big impact. So at least moving forward, I hope the NSIC comes up with better, better programming. That way we know to avoid this next time.
Have you heard anything from other teammates, coaches, or administrators on the status of eligibility with complications of COVID, redshirting, and any unfinished academics keeping students here? Have you heard anything on that front?
Yeah, so I mean, at the beginning, we had heard that we might have to redshirt, especially because I'm a senior and there's, I believe, 3 other seniors on my team. But I mean, as the season progressively, went on, they told us that they're canceling the season, so we automatically all redshirt. So if I needed next season, if I needed that for academic purposes, I could still compete in cross country because technically I have another year.
You kind of answered my next question there. I was going to ask you, have you faced any of those challenges of eligibility in this area? Just want to talk a little more on that, maybe.
Yeah, no, I mean, eligibility-wise, thank God my grades are doing well. That's great for me, but I'm going to graduate in the 2021 academic year, so I will go through track and field indoor, track and field outdoor, but if I wanted to stay and pursue academics or a master's degree, I could do that with my option for my last season of cross country, as well as track outdoor, as well as indoor.
We're just about out of time here, Nina, but just talk, how big of an effect do you think this will have on getting to meet new athletes for this year and then next year?
Oh, it's definitely been rough. We've had recruits come on campus and we're not allowed to meet them because that was the point that we weren't meeting together. And even if we did, we had to do it through Zoom. And it's not ideal to meet, your future teammates or tour the campus over a camera. You don't get that same kind of feel for the weather or, just the environment around you. It's a little bit harder to decide if this is probably where you want to spend your future.
Yep, athletics certainly doing a good job with the virtual touring for new students. Well, Nina, thank you for coming on today, and we wish you the best of luck in the athletic season if there will ever be one.
Thank you.
And that was Nina Arias, broadcasting major and track and field athlete, coming on to talk about the season and eligibility news. Emily, I hear there's free soup coming on this week and in the future. What do you have on that front?
Yeah, Cole, it's been an exciting week for us here. It's been a long-awaited 6 months, but Free Soup Tuesday is back. The Lutheran Campus Ministry is now offering soup to go in the MSU Dome every Tuesday. Get there early on Tuesdays before all of the soup is gone and take advantage of this opportunity because after all, it is free. This group has goals of building community, deepening faith, expanding minds, and inspiring service. It's time to get creative around campus. Although events around MSU have been canceled this semester, there will be homecoming door decorating. The Staff Senate, a special events committee, is inviting all faculty and staff to participate in decorating their doors to celebrate the virtual homecoming event this year. A photo of your door will need to be sent to Mindy Rudnick by Tuesday to be entered into the contest. Voting will be held from Wednesday, October 7th until Friday the 9th at 10 a.m. I have a weekly COVID update for all of you. As of yesterday, there are 25 active cases and 179 recovered cases. 192 individuals are currently being monitored, and Minot State is at a risk level of 3 out of 5. We received news that there were no new cases yesterday. There is testing this Friday from 9 to 11. Remember to pre-register before arriving. For any questions about positive and close contact cases, email Deb Hammond or Kevin Harmon. Stay safe by washing your hands and social distancing. Are you guys going to go to Free Soup Tuesday next week?
Absolutely. That's the only thing I really look forward to next week. Cole, what about you?
I haven't had much time to grab some, but hopefully in the future, luck will be on my side. But when we come back from Underwriters, we have Roxanne with weather, and Kaiden is going to be talking to one of the MSU Life personalities. And we also have Noa Garcia with a member of the MSU football team. Keep it on her, folks. We'll be right back.
Thank you to all of our underwriters. Trinity Health is a comprehensive healthcare system based in Minot, North Dakota.
Fiance, with all your prom and bridal needs, located in downtown Minot.
KCJB 910 AM, Minot's news and information station.
Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports.
KIZZ FM Z94, playing today's hit music.
Mix 99.9, Minot's music mix.
SRT, offering a number of services including phone, TV, internet, and security.
KRRZ, 1390 AM, Minot's classic hits.
KZPR 105.3 FM, Minot's rock station.
East End, where the poor is worth so much more, located in downtown Minot.
Qdoba, easy, on time, full of flavor.
Nice Impressions, no job is too big or too small, located in downtown Minot.
MSU Beavers Hockey, online info at msubeavers.com.
Forward Communication, connecting professionals in the Midwest.
El Azteca, authentic Mexican food on North Broadway near the airport.
MSU Theater Department, year-round entertainment.
Red and Green, MSU's student-run newspaper.
MSU Bookstore, for all your campus needs.
Minot Nutrition Addiction, offering healthy smoothies and meal replacements on the go.
HBarB Construction, for all your oil field needs.
Bear's Cat Donuts, located on Broadway across from Minot State campus.
Welcome back from Underwriters, and it is now fall season, so it's getting a lot cooler out there. And Kaiden, what do you think?
Absolutely. I'm sure all of you guys
so
at
far?
home can feel the weather getting much cooler, bundling up a little bit more. Roxanne has the latest on us for the news, or the weather, sorry.
Hi and good evening. We are finally getting into the fall weather. Currently in Minot, it is 48 degrees. The high is also 48 in Minot and the low is 37. Moving on to our state temperatures, moving on to our state temperatures, the slide talks about Okay, in Williston we have 50 and Dickinson as well as 51. Bismarck at 51 as well, and in Grand Forks as well we have 47 and Fargo lastly at 50. Moving on to our 7-day forecast, we have on our 7-day forecast. On Friday we have 55 and the low is 37. Saturday as well, cloudy but 52 and 36. Our highest temperature for the week will be 72 degrees on Tuesday. Although it will be cloudy, be prepared and wear a jacket. The low on Tuesday as well will be 46. The Minot State Athletics softball is hosting a fundraiser this week. On Friday, there will be 55 degrees for weather and the low will be 37. Minot State softball is hosting a hit-a-thon as well as a scrimmage that day, as well as Saturday. We encourage everyone to come out. There will be grilling and barbecuing there and some baked goodies along to go with it. Our weather spotlight this week is at Pierre, South Dakota. Caitlin, our producer, is from there. That's her hometown. Currently, it is 57 and sunny there. The high as well is 57, while the low is 36. Speaking of fundraisers, Kaiden is on the baseball team, and they're also doing a lot of things to boost up their money. Kaiden, how's that going for you?
It's going great. The baseball team is selling hats, and we're also doing a letter-a-thon, selling it to like 25 people each. It's been going great. MSU Life has been changed a lot because of the coronavirus. Now to talk with us is Thea Bonebreak. Thea, how is MSU Life adapting to the coronavirus?
So a lot of the things that we're doing right now are completely online. So whether it be over Facebook or Zoom calls. We've done all of it, and we're just trying to make things as simple as possible with the least amount of exposure for everybody. So a drive through the loops, just simplifying everything.
Mm-hmm. So when you say simplifying, how do you think it's been going? Like how would you say you guys are working towards simplifying it?
So with a lot of the things, like last week we had Build a Unicorn with the Pride Club, and we simply just had them drive through the Old Main Loop, and they just picked up their thing and they left and did it by themselves or with their kind of quarantine. It's just putting people together without exposing the greater population.
Yeah. So what upcoming event are you most excited for?
I think Beep Bingo is going to be my favorite. Up in the North Dome parking lot, we're going to have everybody just pull into parking spots in their cars, and then we'll play bingo over the radio like we have been for our drive-in movies, and then when they get a bingo, they'll have to honk their horn, and then we'll figure everything out. So it could be really good, it could be really bad. We're not really sure yet.
Yeah, that's awesome. How many people usually show up to that?
So at Welcome Back Bingo, we had over 486 people tune in either virtually or in person. So we're hoping to be around the 500 mark.
There you go. That's awesome. As a student, if you would like to get involved in the MSU Life, how would you go about doing that?
So if you want to just come to our events, you just show up. Everybody is friendly. We're all willing to help you out and figure it out. For the club itself, we host once a month meetings. Everything's over Facebook right now due to coronavirus. So if you just reach out to any of us on our Instagram page at MSU Life, we pretty much just help anybody that wants to come.
Yeah, so with people starting in the club this year, would you say it's very different from perhaps when you started the club a couple of years ago?
Yeah, so right now we have, I think, 3 new people that joined, and we only have once a month meetings, and Aaron, Peyton, and I have pretty much planned the entire semester just because we had 5 plans set out in July trying to figure out if we go to level green, whatever level, what can change. So everything's pretty much the same, so they don't get to decide as much as normal.
Okay, so what does the MSU Life schedule look like for this semester?
So right now we have pretty much, we can only have 1 in-person event a week. So right now we have nothing this week, but tonight we have Grey's Anatomy trivia. Next week is going to be, I can't remember what's next week, but the week after is going to be bingo and just different things each week. We're trying to ease it out as much as possible.
Yeah, that's awesome. Obviously, MSU Life trying to do as much as they possibly can. The Minot State football season has been pushed back to next semester, but the Beavers are still hard at work. With more on that, we have Noa Garcia with quarterback Ben Bolinske.
Even though football season has been put on hold this fall semester, the Minot State Beavers are still working hard and getting ready to return to the field for this spring. With more on that, I have Ben Bolinske, quarterback for the Minot State Beavers. Hey Ben, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. Well, first off, how's the team looking right now?
Obviously we've had 10 months off of football, so we're pretty rusty, still trying to get our feet underneath of us, but with a new defensive coordinator, we're seeing a different defense, and we got a whole bunch of new freshmen, so it's a little different, but we're going to hit the ground running and hopefully be ready for the spring.
Awesome. Well, speaking of practice, with COVID-19, has that affected you guys' practices at all? Have you guys put in new guidelines, or are you guys just rolling as usual?
It has affected, not so much practice, but when the offense and the defense are never in the locker room at the same time. We all have our own water bottles. We're not sharing. But other than that, it's your typical practice.
Gotcha. And then, I'm sure everyone can't wait to get back on the field, but who exactly are you looking forward to see, most excited to see get back into action? Like, who should we, as the audience, be looking forward to see return to the field? Who do you think is going to be big?
I think we got a lot of weapons. A lot of guys who are seasoned veterans now. They've had a few years to play under their belt. A few guys to look at would be Ali Muhammad. He was the offensive newcomer of the year in the NSIC. And then obviously Corey Kerrigan, and then Peyton Lamourie. Those guys have been working hard all summer, and we were getting ready to get started, but unfortunately the coronavirus kind of happened and things came to a halt. But we're still working and excited to get going.
Gotcha. And then also, do you have any advice for any future college athletes, any high school athletes that are looking to get into play football in college?
I would say don't just focus on one sport. Get out there and play basketball and play baseball. Even if they're not your best sport, don't just focus on football and don't just lift for football. Play 3 sports, play 4 sports, and that's a good way to get your name out there too. So.
Awesome. And then I know you're a Minot native, is that correct?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, growing up, were you a fan of the Minot State Beavers, or how was that?
Oh yeah, I was a fan of the Beavers. If I wasn't traveling to a soccer tournament or a baseball tournament or something, we were coming to the Minot State Beavers games and playing on that side hill and listening to the cannon after touchdown. So I'm pretty familiar with the Minot State Beaver football team, and it was a pretty easy decision to come here.
Gotcha. So are you currently a little bit jealous of your former high school football team now that they're back on the field and the Beavers have still been sidelined?
Yeah, you'd love to be out there playing, but because of the coronavirus, we can't. And so it's still fun to tune in on Friday nights and be able to watch them and see them go to work. So you could say I'm a little bit jealous, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining me today, Ben. We're all looking forward to seeing you back on the field this spring and the rest of the Beavers. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you again. Back to you guys at the studio.
Thank you.
Last week, we had MSU women's hockey revealing their schedule. We reported on that. And now this time around, we got the MSU men's revealing their schedule. It looks like 16 home games and a lot more of the road games coming in at this time. And Kaiden, how excited is this right now?
Very. It would be nice to get some sports back on campus. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have something to do on campus. I'm sure it's going to give the student body something to look forward to. What about you for your podcast? How does that work out for you?
Yeah, so I'm hoping I can get some post-game interviews with either players or coaches for every game that I go to. I certainly think that I'll be talking about them a lot on the podcast when they come, but there's going to be a lot of, playing to their identity. They're still considered national champions because there wasn't one last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think it's going to be a lot of fun watching them. I think they're not going to be slowing down anytime soon.
Absolutely. Great program, great team, great coaching staff. We're going to throw it to the Underwriters pretty quick, but don't go anywhere. We have Troy with his picks of the week, and he's going to tell you everything you need to know about the sports world.
A big thanks to our underwriters going out and supporting the KMSU broadcasting department. And we got Troy with sports up next. We got some NFL action going on tonight and also some local sports happening. What do you got for us, Troy?
Yeah, I got some NFL action coming your way. Little fantasy updates, not doing too hot, but hey, always time to turn that around. So let's get into it. So hello, Beaver fans. I'm Troy Kowal. This is your KMSU Beavers Sports Report. We're going to start with the NFL. Teams have continued to lose players due to injuries through these first 3 weeks, and a lot of questions still being raised around the fact of no preseason and a shorter training camp. Last week in Troy's picks, I went 2-1. The only loss came by the Jacksonville Jaguars, as Fitzmagic led the Miami Dolphins to a win. The Green Bay Packers pulled out a win over the New Orleans Saints last week, 37-30, as Aaron Rodgers looks very strong. As long as his mustache comes back, he'll be fine. Kansas City showed us why they're the Super Bowl champions from last year, knocking off the Baltimore Ravens. With this win being highlighted by me personally, the Chiefs left tackle Eric Fisher with a touchdown. The picks for the 3 primetime games this week start tonight with the Jets versus the Broncos. And I'm sorry to disappoint Phillip Green, but I do not see the Broncos winning tonight. The Jets should win tonight as both teams look for their first win. On Sunday, this matchup, the 49ers take on the Eagles. All eyes will be turned to 2 teams who've had their woes this year so far, looking to improve on season stats. In the Sunday night primetime game, I picked the Eagles. Their quarterback, who is from North Dakota, Carson Wentz, is due for a breakout game. And closing the week out on Monday night will be the Packers' second straight primetime game as they take on the Atlanta Falcons. The Packers, I think, will be heavy favorites as this brings Troy's pick to an end and we move towards hockey. The postseason bubble has come to an end as the Tampa Bay Lightning won Lord Stanley Cup earlier this week with a 2-0 win over Dallas. This is Tampa's second cup in the 20th century. NBA Finals are underway as the Miami Heat are taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers took a 1-0 lead last night, 116-98 over the Heat, as the finals are underway and will resume tomorrow night. Moving towards the MLB playoffs are underway as one team's been eliminated from the playoffs format already, and that's the Minnesota Twins. The Twins have not won a game in 18 straight playoff games, A little bit of a pain there for Twins fans. And moving forward, local football news. The Minot High Magi are off this week, but the Bishop Bryan Lions, who are straight across the road, play Friday night. They won last week after taking on the 3-2 Ned Rose Cardinals. The score wasn't as close as some would think, as both teams had 3-2 records. The final score was 54-12. In favor of the Lions, they improved to 4-2. The Lions will take on South Prairie this week at Ned Rose, as they cannot play on Minot State's campus. For KMSU Sports, I'm Troy Kowal. Stay classy, Minot. Kaiden, Cole, back to you guys.
Yeah, it's been a absolutely great 3 weeks for the football season. I'm currently 3-1 or 2-1 in my fantasy league. Cole, what do you think about it?
Unfortunately, I have not been able to do fantasy football this year. I came close, although last year I did become a champion in my 8-team league, and it was just a lot of scrambling the past few weeks, towards the end of the season, and it was just really hectic and stressful. But thank goodness I got it. But I would have loved to do it this year, but it just didn't work out.
Absolutely. We would like to thank you guys for watching the show. We'd like to thank everybody who is on the show. We'd like to thank Nina for filling in. Again, we'd like to thank Thea Bonebreak for the MSU Life updates. Also, everybody in the studio that helps us out with the technical side. We'd also like to say follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at MSU Inside Out. Correct.
KMSU TV and Radio, that's mostly the usernames for those accounts. And also check out KMSUradio.com for your live radio feed.
Absolutely. Check out Minot State Sports Podcast. That's Cole's podcast. I'd like to thank you all again for watching this afternoon. Thank you very much. Take it easy.